Welcome to The Road in Between. Today we're going to be talking about football, faith, and family. We're going to be with Coach Big Mac McNeil. Today I've got Steve Stewart with us, and Steve is a parent of two of the young men who played under Coach Barnes as well as Coach McNeil. We look forward to sharing those stories with you. I've got this SEC football here, Steve, and this has really been a big part of your life and about your family. It's amazing how these stitches can not only stitch a football, but it can stitch a family and bring people closer together. We look forward to sharing these stories with you on The Road in Between.
Thoughts keep running through my head as I walk this road with nothing ahead. The sun beams down on my face as I walk this road that leads to amazing grace.
The Road in Between with Tom Sykes is sponsored by John O'Neill Johnson Toyota, CRM Companies, Archer Architecture, Mitchell Signs and Imprints, Glass Incorporated, Benefits Management Group.
We want to welcome you into today's show. We've got Coach Mac McNeil with us today, William Mac McNeil, also known as Big Mac.
Right.
And we're glad you're with us today on the show. We're thankful.
Yeah.
And also we got Eric Stubbs and Roland Terry and Leanne Ballou. And Leanne Ballou is the head of the school at Lamar. And thank you for having us.
Thank you. Glad you're here.
We are in the place where it all happens. This is the workout room. This is the Drew Denney Fieldhouse too. It's given a good name. But Mac, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for
You have had quite a story.
Oh yeah, it's been a journey.
Walk us through a little bit of your beginning time here and how it brought you to Lamar.
Well, I grew up in the projects, Meridian Housing Authority, Highway Village. It was two brothers, one sister, and my mom. She was the nucleus of the family, and she raised us, and during my my growth in life, I encountered a lot of obstacles, and life's all about choices. You can either choose to go this way, or you can go that way. But if you choose to go this way, you have consequences. And I think right now, that's where we at as a state of government, is that we're not really holding a lot of people to certain standards and following through with the consequences. So, but I had an interesting journey in my life. My two brothers, they passed away. One of them died of overdose of cocaine, and my other brother died of alcoholism. And my mother grieved herself to death watching two boys die. So it's just me and my sister.
You are not just a football coach, you're a life coach.
Life coach, that's all I teach. Football and championships, that's extra. I don't teach football. I teach life. I coach about life.
But Eric was a nose guard.
Yeah, he was a nose guard.
And how much did you weigh, Eric, when you?
I was probably about 145 pounds back then.
Now, what's the nose guard for those who don't know football? What position is that?
On defense, you'd be lined up on the center. So, being the smallest guy on the line, I guess my advantage was quickness. But it had its ups and downs. It was tough, and Big Mac, we called him Coach Big Mac or whatever, and he was more of a friend than a coach. And that would have been, 11 years ago now. Mm-hmm. And he always, taught motivation, not intimidation. And that was a big thing with him. And he always made sure that, Thursday night we were going to eat dinner together. It was about family, it was about fellowship. We were going to eat together as a team. A lot of times we watch movies. We get together, watch a movie as a team. So that was something that even today we still talk on the phone, regularly. Anytime something big's coming up, he'll give me a call. Hey man, what's going on? So I've always been an inspiration, but a friend more than anything. So
That's good. Now, Roland, you were one of the special ones that was able to leave Lamar and then go on and play at the next level.
I can remember being at state, and when you go from a team like we were to a team up there, it's not the same. I didn't have the same relationship, the same bond that I had with Coach and Coach Barnes and everybody here. And so after practice one day, and Coach had just absolutely just been hollering at me all day long.
Which coach was this?
This was Coach Grimes. He was always real tough on me. He's actually, I think, at Auburn now. But anyways, he had been hollering at me all day long, and I'd had a really, really tough day at practice. And I was riding around by myself. I think it might have been my sophomore or junior year. I was riding around by myself, and the thoughts running through my head. It's like, oh God, is this really what I want to do? I'm getting cussed at all day long. Is this really what I want to do? And I'm just driving around by myself, and out of the blue, I get a call from Coach McNeil. Out of the blue, and it just meant a lot. It was like we were kind of right there together, and I got a call from him, and it really sat there, and it was like, well, I've got somebody on my side. It meant a lot to me. I always think about that over the years.
I can tell it's impacted you today. Leanne Woodall at that time
Right.
was a classmate of yours. What was he like growing up?
Well, I remember walking the halls with Big Mac. Big Mac was one of those that I never approached. He was a little scary. He was Big Mac. And so I always knew who Big Mac was. A good guy, hard work on the football team. I would go Friday nights and watch him play. But he had his entourage, and it was interesting just watching him grow up. And Big Mac and I didn't see each other for a while, and when I came back to Lamar School, Big Mac was here, and he was a big part of Lamar School. And as I became head of school, he called me right away to congratulate me, and we talked about what he did for the players here at school. And it's interesting and ironic that he has a detail business, because he is very, very interested in the details of our students. And I find that important because Lamar does provide a very rigorous curriculum. These kids work hard in class all day long, and when they come out and they enjoy a sport and they learn so much through football, for example, Big Mac is out there paying attention to the details. He's looking at their demeanor. He watches, on the football field as well as they walk down from the school to the field. You can tell a lot about a kid just as they approach you. And he pays attention to those details. And just this Christmas, he called me out of the blue, and he called to tell me just about one of our students who had called him about his ACT score. And he made an exceptional score. And he and I rejoiced together over the holidays about a student. He's not just all about football, but he knows how important academics are, and he understands the details of our students. And I'm very appreciative and thankful to have him as part of Lamar School. So it's nice that our paths have crossed again.
Right.
Absolutely. I want to go back to the Drew Denney story.
Okay.
People that aren't familiar with it, Drew was in your class, and y'all were leaving a football practice, and everybody was going to swim at his pool, right?
We were.
Walk us through that if you don't mind.
We, Drew wasn't only, a teammate. Drew was a guy that we grew up with since we were babies. I mean, we were in the same class. We were classmates for years, and hung out on the weekends, hung out at his house a lot. He's got an incredible family. They always took us in and had events for us at their house and after game parties, and he was a very good friend to all of us and to everybody that he knew. Big guy, a lot of heart, and it was after football practice one day, typical day, joking around in the locker room. Hey man, he said, hey, let's go swimming over at my house after practice, which is something we did on occasion. Hey man, all right, we'll meet you there. I remember I went by my house, which was right next to the school. Was gonna change clothes real quick, and wasn't 5 minutes later, we heard sirens and everything else. My mom called me. She said, "You okay? You okay? You okay?" I said, "Yeah. What's going on?" She said, "Something's going on right outside the house." It was no more than a quarter mile from the front of the school here, and I remember running down there and trying to see what had happened, and heard it was Drew. And the police stopped us. We couldn't get to the scene of the accident. And I saw that's when Coach Barnes was there, and Coach Barnes grabbed me and told us what had happened, and that was a day that I'll never forget. And it was very tough because when something like that happens, you get a lot of different emotions. Losing a best friend like that, I mean, you're confused, you're angry. There's a lot of emotion that you don't know how to direct it. You don't know whether to be sad or to be mad or who to direct that at. And having a team, having a close group of friends like we had, and some adults that stepped up and helped us kind of deal with that and focus that energy into a positive light and turn that into a structure to build off of. And it was a tragedy, but good things have come to light since he passed. So
thank you for sharing. I know that's difficult to relive it, especially right here. Good thing that came out of this was the Drew Denney Fieldhouse. Mm-hmm. We needed something to do with our grief. It was a corporate public grief that we were all experiencing because it was larger than life. I was his pastor coming through his life with him, and we needed something tangible to help deal with the grief, and so this place was envisioned and built with the love and resources of friends around the Denney family. And so when we come back in here today, good things do happen. It's hard to hear that sometimes when you're in the middle of it, but all things work together for good for those who love the Lord, those called according to his purpose. This is one of those places. It's got his big name written outside of this building, and he is alive and well. He had strong faith, strong hope. His sister named Hope. She was born on Good Friday. I don't know if you knew that. And they named her Hope. Interestingly enough, when you go through your Good Friday of life, your tragedy, very graphic like that was, there's still hope. And y'all have carried on your life, and like you said, been shaped by it in a big way. Mac, you and I were talking about this class. Mm-hmm. And when you look back on this particular class that graduated, mm-hmm. they took that experience,
right?
Didn't they?
Yeah, and they still close. It's like what they said about the reunion, is that 35 out of 40. I mean, they still talk, they still text, they still hang out. And I think that year, I'm sure you was right there because you led us. You strengthened our faith, and we thank you for that. And but that class is special. It's a special class. I can't describe it any other way. And when I think about Drew, I think about loyal and commitment, because Drew was committed.
Well, it's all about relationships, and deep down that, it's all about love.
Right.
I see love here.
Oh yeah.
You love when y'all met and you were hugging and seeing each other reuniting.
So I have to hug him because he'll hit me. See, I already know what's gonna happen. But when I get about 60 years old, he's gonna get my wheelchair, say, and Roland gonna be saying, push him to me. But see, Roland gonna help me out. He's gonna settle down a little bit.
They're gonna get you.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Well, Leanne, thank you for sharing your school.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So glad you're here. So glad you're here.
And we're glad Big Mac's still a great influence, because just as our 9th grade team moved up to varsity at the end of the season, the word that I heard in the hallways was, wow, Big Mac's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And so he is a great encourager, and he's continuing to encourage all of the students that come through. So we're thankful that he's here.
You got
it. Stick around. The Road in Between will be right back.
I'm Neil Johnson with John O'Neill Johnson Motor Company. We offer Toyota, we offer Hyundai, BMW, and Mazda.
You can take them beyond the road and go out and have an adventure. You can go hunting, you can go fishing, kayaking, bicycling, take them all out on the road in between.
Some of the great ones for that, Tom, are the Toyota Tundra, Toyota Tacoma, Toyota 4Runner, Land Cruiser is another good one, the Toyota Sequoia. They're great for the outdoors.
You come by and see them.
John O'Neill Johnson Motor Company, a name you can trust, products you can depend on.
We're back with The Road in Between with Tom Sykes.
We're here today to talk a little bit about football, faith, and family. I've got an SEC football right here that was actually used a long time ago. It's been deflated. It reminds me of Deflategate. But today I've got Steve Stewart with us, and Steve is a big part of The Road in Between with us and a partner with us. And Steve, thank you for being on the show. And
thank you for having me.
I know that your sons have played for at Lamar School. Briefly kind of tell us about a reflection maybe you've had as a father being part of that program.
Well, thank you. I think Greg Ainsworth was who Mr. Archer told us about in this football. We were fortunate as a family that both of our sons got to play football, high school football, the beauty of the locker room of high school football with really two great coaches, as it turns out. Coach Barnes, who's a Mississippi Hall of Fame coach, as you know, and a great man of faith, and we're appreciative of that. And of course, Coach Big Mac, had tremendous influence on both of our kids, and we're just fortunate as a family that they got to have that type of interaction with them, not just in the sporting arena, but in life. Coach Mac did a great job of my youngest son was not really a sports nut growing up, and Coach Mac found a way to kind of get that into him and then get it out of him through the locker room, but also off the field, how to becoming a man, maturing in the way he interacted. He did that with any number of kids over the years that he's had interaction with. So we've been very blessed to have had our sons cross paths with Coach Big McNeil, for sure.
Yes. Well, I know your sons were on the line.
Yeah.
And I know Coach Big Mac, he took the big boys in, and every Thursday night he'd take them to dinner.
That's right. Part of the tradition of the way he would interact with these young men was the Thursday night thing, and I think the kids look forward to that as much as they do anything during the week. But both of my kids did play, on the line of scrimmage, and that's where his impact was as a coach, amongst many things. And there's a lot to it. It's a different breed that plays the unheralded line of scrimmage. They don't really get all of the pomp and circumstance of the guys that throw it and catch it. Right. But Coach Mac had a way of making them believe in what they were doing and helping them become leaders on the field and knock the guy down, help him up, so that was always refreshing to see him be able to get the best out of him, and the smile on the side of the sideline when they come off the field after they've done something good, and then when they know they really haven't done something good, you still had that. You always felt like your son was trying to please not only himself and his teammates, but there was always that little something special when Coach McNeil had that hand up when he came off the side of the field and said, "Hey, good job, son. We're proud of you."
Right. Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, Stephen was part of the state championship team.
Yeah. We were very, again, fortunate and blessed that they had a couple of good years where they made it to a championship and lost and went through that. Coach McNeil was a big part of helping those young men know what it feels like to go through that experience. And then they came back the next year and built on that loss and came back and won it the next year, of course, going through a season and lots of fun games, lots of big plays, lots of things that go in that, and a lot of people that contributed to that. And my younger son that came through got close, got deep in the playoffs in a different division. Of course, Lamar played in two different divisions for my two sons, but he didn't quite get to experience what that was like. Got close, and it hurt him. He felt it, but ultimately, crossing paths with Coach McNeil for my sons was something that'll be very special in our family's life for forever.
Great, thank you.
Glad to do it.
Stick around. The Road in Between will be right back. In today's world where most businesses and corporations' main mission is to simply make profit, CRM Companies differs itself by focusing on being successful in a way that also promotes growth and prosperity in the community. CRM Companies isn't simply a commercial development and management company. They create opportunities, they create jobs, they maximize the potential for growth and development of a better community, all while still providing great services and outstanding customer relations. Learn more about CRM Companies and their mission today. Visit crmco.com. We're back with The Road in Between with Tom Sykes.
All right, Bill. You and Big Mac, this is your neck of the woods right here.
Sure. We actually met a few blocks from here on 14th at Newell Chapel CME Church.
That's right.
They call that the Welcome Corner, and that's where we learned a lot of our life lessons. Church then was not just about Sunday mornings and Wednesdays. We were there just about every day of the week, and that's where we got our exposure. We traveled, and our church really believed in the old adage, it takes the community. And so we grew up as siblings.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
In the church, and everywhere one went, the other one went.
And now you are the judge.
That's right.
Well, one of them.
You're one of them.
But Mac is my hero. I mean, Mac and I grew up in very different financial situations as far as our backgrounds were concerned. And it goes to show you that just that mustard seed faith will take you where you want to go.
Right.
He never stopped believing in God, for one, but most importantly, also, he never stopped believing in himself.
I'm living the dream.
And Tom, I want to add, Mac is living proof that this type of environment is transitional.
Right.
We come here to get on our feet.
Right.
We come here for a hand up. And once we get that hand up, we move on and we reach back, and then we provide a hand up.
That's right.
For the next one. And he is truly a living proof of that. The hand up theory works.
Not a hand out.
That's right. Hand up.
Hand up.
Right. And that's what life's all about. See, life's all about choices. I go back to either you make a choice to go that way or you can go that way. But you got to understand now, there's consequences behind those choices. Because you're going to see Judge Young here. And so you can't give her the okie doke, so to speak.
And don't let him fool you. We reaped those consequences several times.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me tell you. I got to tell you this right here, Tom. Never forget, Val and I, we was coming back from a church trip because we was in the choir, sort of thing like that. And back then, that's when rap music kind of hit the scene a little bit. And somehow, her father was driving the van. He got a hold to one of those rap tapes. Oh my God! He put it in. Tom, he went off on us. Pulled over first of all. Took the tape out. Threw the tape out of the van. And made us shut up all the way back.
Oh.
That's the discipline.
You will not listen to profanity.
That's right.
What you hear, you become. Don't listen to this around me or without me, and be quiet.
That's right.
You remember that?
I remember that.
Certainly.
And another one of Mr. Young's, because he really inspired me to be in business. One of his things he said, I'll never forget, I'm gonna pass this on to everybody. He said, we was complaining, we was fussing about some things, but we only make blah, blah, blah amount of money per hour. Well, he said, Big Mac, if you have a skill, if you don't have a skill, if you don't have a college degree, he said, guess what you work in the United States of America? That's what you work, minimum wage. And I think we need to let our kids understand that. If you don't gain a skill, or you don't gain some type of education or trade, you're worth minimum wages in the United States of America. And that teaching stayed in the back of my head all my life. And I think we need more people in the community planting seeds.
Yes.
And I think with me, the community played a vital part in raising me.
Both of y'all.
And I think we gotta go back and reach and help others. And I think the Lord put me in a position the same way he put you in your position now. We have our own ministry now. It's up to us to go out and carry it out. to the ones that are listening.
Yep. You started out underneath that magnolia tree.
That's right.
The tree of welcome.
That's right.
You're welcome here, and you're welcoming people to join you in this journey of not getting settled here, but being blessed here. This was home.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of love here.
Oh yeah.
You were saying.
That's all we had was
place
love.
of transition.
That's right.
Right.
But it was all love.
That's right. That's right.
Now, both of y'all could sing. I know you can sing. I've heard you sing.
Well, she can sing. I
How
can.
about Matt? Can he
Mac
sing?
was in the choir.
Oh my God. I was there.
You were there for the girls.
No,
He was there because of that discipline we talked about.
I didn't have a choice.
There were no choices.
You didn't have
when we were
choices
growing
then.
up. When your parents told you to
That's
do
right.
something, or anyone else's parents
That's right.
asked you to do something,
right.
they weren't really asking you, they were telling
Right.
you. So,
I mean, that's where we grew up. So we grew up going on church trips, and churches were more active back then. You know, it was a little bit more genuine love, than it is now. Everything's so political now. So, but my church family and my friends, they keep me together. I keep them together. So we have our own little bond. So all I have is Lamar School and my church family.
Yeah. Your friends right here.
Oh man, it's such a good one.
we go way back.
Oh yeah.
Y'all go way back.
Way
Way back.
To the beginning.
Oh yeah.
In fact, just a few months ago, Mac happened to send me some pictures that he had in his possession, and I think I might have been 4, and I'm looking like, where'd you get this
Oh yeah.
from?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but those are
We
the
go
good
way
old
back.
days.
Yeah, it was a good old days.
And another important thing that we were always taught is that God blessed each and every one of us with one thing that was exactly the same, and that's 24 hours in a day. It's what you do with it that counts.
That's right.
So,
And I break my days down by 8 supposed to be sleeping, another 8 supposed to be working, but if you got goals and dreams, you're going to work 12 and 13. And the other 3 hours is to do what's important to you.
Right. That's a good rhythm.
Oh yeah.
Good rhythm.
And so you have to make the most of your time of each day because it's not guaranteed.
Yep. Well said. We love you.
love you too.
Yay, this is a good reunion.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
Thank you for sharing your home.
Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all coming and having me.
Stick around. The road in between will be right back.
Award-winning, quality, experience. Glass Incorporated's expert team can handle single window panes to entire high-rise buildings. Whether you need storefronts, glass replacement, mirrors, or shower enclosures, no job is too big or too small. Glass Incorporated, your commercial and residential glass experts. Locations in Meridian, Foley, Alabama, and the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
We're back with The Road in Between with Tom Sykes.
This has been a good show, Steve. Thank you for being on it today.
Glad to do it. Thank you for having me.
We are grateful. As you go forth from here, know that everybody is looking for a sense of belonging. Coach Mac found his, working his way out off of those steps where he spent so much time, and now he was a stepping stone for many generations underneath him. And it really is special when a man can grow up and become a mentor. As you go forth from here, know that you go nowhere by accident. Wherever you go, God's Spirit is with you, and He is going to send you where He needs you to be. Go forth and enjoy and celebrate life. We're grateful for you being with us. Take care.
The Road in Between would also like to thank these fine sponsors. Closed captioning is brought to you by BMG, Benefits Management Group.
I'm on my way. I can't wait to see the brighter day. can't wait to see the brighter day. I can't wait to see the brighter day.